Welcome to Just a Thought with Dr. Sherry. This weekly radio visit will help you as you draw closer to God and grow in the Word. Here now is Dr. Sherry.
Good afternoon. We are now week number 3 in this month, and it's very exciting. I hope you are staying tuned. I hope you called your friends that are having a problem with eating and everything, and you tell them about what's going on, what we're talking about. It's very critical for your life so that you can do what Jesus said and allow him to give you life and life more abundantly. Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And do not be conformed in your eating to this world, but be yes, I added that in, but that's all right, because God said don't be conformed to this world. And I'm just zeroing in on one area of the world. Do not be conformed to this world in your eating, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Remember, God set the boundaries of the food that's to go into our earth suit. But he calls us, he expects us to enforce it and to be obedient to it. And that's why Dr. Levine and I are in 100% agreement. We need to go back to the Garden of Eating and see what God has provided. So I have a question. We have Lou Sandoval with us, Mr. Superman, whose motto now for the company, and it's now my motto, just Lou it. That's what you got to do. Get up and Lou it. And say hi, Lou.
How are you doing today, America?
Absolutely. We have Dr. Levine with us, which you've heard.
Hello, everybody.
And we have a new exciting guest with us, and his name is Van DeCaio,
just like Mikhail.
Like Mikhail. Oh, I don't go there anymore. Okay. No, I love it. Go ahead. We're glad you're with us this month, too. But
Thank you, Dr.
I have
Sherry.
a question for you, Lou.
Yes, doctor.
When a year ago, when all this started, did you live to eat or eat to live?
You know, that is a great question, doctor. The last 16, 17, 22 years, I lived to eat, and now I eat to live. And I think when you adjust your life that way, that's when you start to notice your change. You know, anybody can change, but it's taking that first baby step to change. Just believe in yourself. You got to have hope. You have to want something. Set a goal and go after it. Anybody can do it, and that's why we're here today. I'm not a Superman. You know, I'm human just like anybody else, and just go after what you want. You know, that's why we're here today. That's why I brought my team with me today to show everybody that those baby steps that they can take to change their life are small ones to create big steps for tomorrow.
The thing of it is, people forget that they didn't put the weight on overnight, but they want to take it off overnight. And you cannot do this. It takes a complete renewing of your mind in order to do this.
Absolutely, doctor. It is not a race. You know, what's happened with me is truly a miracle. If you'd have told me that I was going to average 23 pounds a month for 12 consecutive months, I would have said, you're crazy, you know? If you'd have told me that I was going to lose 100 pounds in the first 87 days, I would have said, who are you talking to? I supersize everything, you know? That's that mindset. That's where the baby steps come in, and that's where you got to have hope. If you have hope, you have faith, and you eat and chew your food and have balance. I guess the key is balance. You get balance back in your life, and you have something that you want to set to look forward to, you can achieve anything.
Yes, you can. But it takes time. You have to renew your thinking. It's just like growing up a baby. A baby doesn't go from milk to steak overnight. It has to adjust and grow and be able to do this. And it's the same thing. When you put this weight on, you did it. You were deceived. Let's just say what you were. You were deceived. Life wasn't that interesting. I don't care what anybody says. It's a filler for us, for our life not being where we want it to be at. Now, do you agree with me on this, Lou?
I totally agree. I think the biggest thing where faith takes place there is when I ask God to get rid of my worry. Every time I worried, I noticed I was eating, going on a binge, and actually caught myself doing it. And then I realized, wow, you know, when you get that fear out of it and you ask to release that, that's when it all starts.
Fear of what now? Fear of what?
fear of anything, fear of losing your job, fear of what you're going to do, fear of doing everything that you got to do every day.
Now, that's a key, because right now, fear is the faith of the enemy. It's perverted faith is what it is. It's false evidence appearing real, where the enemy keeps us bound up in our bodies and everything else because we anticipate something could happen. We need to stop going into agreement with that. Let me tell you something. The just shall live by faith. They shall walk by faith. And what is faith? Lou, you agree? Forsaking all, I trust him. And that's what you had to do. You had to reach a point in your life that fear no longer dominated you. That wasn't the faith you walked in, but you now had faith that God loved you enough that he had more life for you. Is this correct?
Absolutely. You know, before I felt like a victim and I was putting it on myself. I was always saying, why me? Now at 211 pounds of fury, I say, try me.
Man, I like that, because that's exactly what occurs. Now, one thing you did, you forsook it. You started trusting in God by faith that you could overcome, and because all things are possible to those who believe. All things. And so what has happened in Lou, he has started on a journey. Mine has taken 9 years, but he is walking by faith, and that is fantastic. Adventures in trusting him. And he has brought people into your life to help you. So you ate before your whole life wrapped around stopping and getting your fast food and then going home or preparing a meal and everything because you weren't living.
Absolutely. I was existing. And, you know, you can exist in life or you can live in life. And I'll tell you what, it feels so much better to live life. I have no words for it, you know, and getting back in retrospect to what we were saying on our last show, get around positive people. Positive people are going to get you to where you got to do. If you are a cow, what does a cow do? It looks down at the ground, it moves, it grazes, okay? Grazing is good, but if you hang out with eagles, what do? You soar.
You soar. And the Bible tells us you renew your youth.
Absolutely. I'm 53 doing this stuff. May 11th, I'll be 54. And, you know, to kind of break records right now is I owe it all to God and I owe it all to my positive friends. If anybody's negative in there, I step back. Positive attracts positive.
You know, all this negativity that comes to us and that, I'm just no good. I'll never be anything. Look how fat I am. People make fun of me. That we think is us. But let me tell you something. The enemy speaks to you through your own thought processes, your own voice. Stop it. Stop listening to that. If you are a Christian, if you are any form of a believer in God, you know all things are possible to those that believe. Stop listening to this. Get up and go forward. Now, Van, you got into, were you ever overweight? What brought you into it?
I was always above over because I got big bone. People say, you're big boned. I said, no, it's genetics.
That was my excuse. I'm big boned.
No, but I had issues with my daughter. She would always eat things and just have the thing called cyclic vomiting syndrome. So everything out there from soy to the milk, to even just the wheat, gluten-free. I call it glutton-free. So there's always glutton for punishment. Everything she ate, she would just like put it up. So I told my wife, we've got to find something that's got good nutrition, but maybe organic. Some friends of ours, they had said, we found something. We believe this is it. And we said, wow, something that's really organic that's in my own backyard that I can really trust. We went to Essanté, looked at it, spoke with the president, Dr. JJ, and the owners, and I said, wow, this is real. This is not fake. So we consumed them. We said, you know what? These things are working for her. Wow, what will it do for us now? Because we use my daughter as a guinea pig. I'm serious. She's 14 now. Dad, what's in these things? The best nutrition our money will ever get you because you're not taking all these medications. They wanted to give us so many other medications. I said, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to do it the natural, organic way through Essanté Organics, she
Praise
says.
God. Because let me tell you, folks, we are killing our children by giving them the sweets and all the carbohydrates and everything, and allowing them to come home and sit in front of a TV and snack. It's becoming such a problem. Look at our government is saying, get up an hour and run or do something per day. Why don't we just teach them the right way to live? And then it will take care of itself. They're under our control. We are responsible for our children. I see this so much in the jail system. Let me tell you something. Overweight and wrong. You do not have to be fat to have the sin of gluttony. Food can just be your God. You can just live to eat. And that is a big problem. I go in the jails all the time. Some of the things I have to deal with is overweight in that jail. One woman in particular, God showed me, I thought he was crazy, but I listened to God anyway. I was trying to deal with her about what she was in there for, which was very serious crime. But what God said do is deal with her weight. So we started dealing with her weight. She lost 50 pounds, completely changed, gave her life to Jesus Christ. She is in prison, but she is talking and ministering to other people. The key was she lived to eat. She had her own God. And that's what happens. We lift up food as our God, and it controls us, and this shouldn't be. Dr. Levine, we didn't have much time for you this time. Tell us how they can find out about this nutritional supplement.
Absolutely. What they can do is go to www.Essanté, spelled E as in excellent, double S, A as in apple, N as in now, T as in terrific, E, Organics, ORGANICS.com/quarter ton to fit. And the 2 is TO, quarter ton to fit. That'll get right to Lou's website. You'll see the products that he's used to help him lose that kind of weight.
And you can contact me anytime you need to. I do counsel in regard to this. I will direct you the right way. If you are a member of a local church, contact me. We would love to come talk to your women's group, your youth group, because the weight is also a serious problem for our teens, or to your men's group, and share with you God's way to have a body that is pleasing to him, and to do it God's way, the right way. So this is Dr. Sherry. I hope you will stay with us for the next 2 programs coming up this month. We love you. We care about you. Don't walk away from this. Don't let the enemy pull you away. Denial is one of the first things that happens. And then we get angry, and then we have to admit we have a problem. God bless you and keep you this week. Bye-bye.
You've been listening to Just a Thought with Dr. Sherry. Dr. Sharon Thomas would like to hear from you. This radio ministry is here to help you weekly as you draw closer to God, to grow in His Word, and to learn to depend on Him and trust His grace. To contact Dr. Sherry, write to her at Dr. Sharon Thomas, 270 East Hunt Highway, Suite 16-304, Queen Creek, Arizona, 85243. That's Dr. Sharon Thomas, 270 East Hunt Highway, Suite 16-304, Queen Creek, Arizona, 85243. Join Dr. Sherry each Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Tell your friends about this program and join us next week at the same time.